You went to see an X-rated movie with your mother. You went to see an X-rated movie with your mother. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much for that question.
Anytime.
I thought it was better to write a book to let people really see who you were and the dumb things you did as well as the smart things.
And where is that on the spectrum?
That's on the dumb side.
Okay.
I was the youngest of four, and as I said, my dad died right after I turned 8, and my mother and I had a pretty tempestuous relationship. She was just the most amazing person. And when I went off to college, and for the first time, she was alone in the house. And I didn't realize how powerful that was until I got home at Thanksgiving. And I promised, I called a friend in Philadelphia. And these were X. I didn't know what an X movie was. We thought it was a little naughty, but we didn't think it was that bad. Again, you got to understand, I was 18 years old. And so I came home, and my mother hated to cook. I mean, she was just a strong, powerful woman who got stuff done in her own right. And I got home, and she'd had this huge dinner laid out. And I said, oh, I promised Jed that we'd go to the movie theater and see this new movie. You want to come? And it's an X movie. I don't know. I was sure that she wouldn't say no. I made a mistake. And she said, I'd love to go, because she didn't want to be left alone in the house again.
It was a pretty famous movie, too.
So I took my mother to see Deep Throat. So I took my mother to see Deep Throat. So I took my mother to see Deep Throat. So I took my mother to see Deep Throat.
Deep Throat? Oh, you took your mother to see Deep Throat. Please, I've got to get that thought out of my head. Wait, let me rub it out.
And to her credit, the first scene is... I didn't ask the question. But I will tell you that my mother was, I'm sure she was mortified, and I said repeatedly, I think we should leave, I think we should go. And my mother was the kind of person that rarely went to a movie. She thought almost every movie would get on TV. Obviously not this one. But she really, once she paid, she was going to stay. And at the end, she knew that I was humiliated, and as we drove home, and you know how the dashboard in the old cars had that kind of green light? And I asked her, I said, well, that was some experience. And she says, well, I thought the lighting...
You stayed until the end of the movie because your mother wanted to get her money's worth? Oh my God. Why didn't you just walk out? Okay, let your mother sit there and watch it. I mean, seriously, if I was like in some sort of daze and I woke up and somehow I found myself sitting in a movie theater with Deep Throat on the screen, and to my horror, my shock, my disgust, my mother was sitting next to me, I would immediately say, let's go. And for some weird reason, and this wouldn't happen because I know my mother, she wouldn't even be sitting there. She would have already have run out of the theater. But if she had said, oh no, I want to get my money's worth, I want to stay to the end, you know what? I would have said, hey Ma, I'll tell you what, you do what you want to do in here. You can sit here and watch it. I'm getting the hell out. I'll wait outside, but I'm not sitting here with you while that Deep Throat is on the screen. Okay. I know CNN is big on a promotion of Democrats and very low on actual journalism. But if they had just done a little bit of journalism, they would have noticed discrepancies in this story. Like, first of all, Hickenlooper claimed he was 18 years old at the time this happened, a freshman from college, home on Thanksgiving. Well, here's the deal. All you have to do with just a quick look in Wikipedia, and you'll see that he was born in 1952. And then if you also look at when Deep Throat came out, it was first released in New York in June of 1972. So that would have made Hickenlooper 20 years old, not 18. Another thing is that you'll also see that it was released, in June of 72 in New York, and then in December of of '72, the same year in Los Angeles, and then I guess later on. So I'm assuming that there was only in New York until the release in December of '72. So if Hickenlooper was living in Philadelphia, how the hell did he see it at a neighborhood movie theater? Oh, and by the way, these X-rated movies did not appear in neighborhood theaters. They appeared in their own, usually real sleazy movie theaters back then. And so there's something wrong with this story. Just doesn't add up. And now, was this actually on Thanksgiving Day? Because that makes it even creepier. I mean, can you imagine? Can that be about the creepiest thing you could do? Have Thanksgiving Day, instead of being home with your mom and having dinner, going out and watching Deep Throat with your mother? Oh, it's inconceivable. Now, another thing is why is he so jolly about this? Like it's like a fun thing. So I don't get this. And if he did make up, because I'm starting to suspect maybe he made up the story to separate himself from the pack. Like, nobody knows who the hell I am. So to separate myself from the rest of the Democrat nominees, I'll make up a story about seeing Deep Throat with my mother. And I know that Hickenlooper, now he's, I saw that Jimmy Kimmel wants him on his show now because of that story. And I'm sure he'll have no trouble getting on other late night TVs or even any other TV interviews, all he wants. Because he wasn't really known. He was former governor of Colorado and mayor of Denver. I did a John Hickenlooper story about him on Dummy Funnies here a couple of weeks ago. Guess what? It almost killed my damn channel. Because you know why? There was so little interest in Hickenlooper. But now everybody's talking about him, and it's just sick, man. I mean, to say that, either one is really sick. Either if you really did go to see Deep Throat with your mother, or if you made up that story just to make yourself more interesting to the public. It's just really bizarre. It's sick, man. So I have a question for everybody there. You can leave the answer in the comment section. Which is creepier? Watching Deep Throat with your own mother or watching it with Joe Biden? But I'm just telling you that story, I just to even think about that, watching Deep Throat with your mother, it's the end of times, I'm telling you. It's the end of times. That's all this can mean. It's all it can mean, end of times.
So I took my mother to see Deep Throat. So I took my mother to see Deep Throat. So I took my mother to see Deep Throat.